last question for me, Max. Where does Alex rank on the toughest opponents that you've had defending your title? Where does he rank?
That's not my job to do the ranking. You guys do it. He's #1 contender. He's the next cupcake on the list, and I can't wait to taste the flavor.
I wanna say something. I wanna stay humble, but I have to talk. Your guy, beginning of the year, he tap like chicken. End of the year, he fight for the title. Crazy. This is not trash talking. Hey guys, Irish only 6 million. Russian 150 million. I wanna fight for your chicken because this is #1 easy fight in lightweight division.
Eddie Alvarez. Conor McGregor. Champion against champion. His 10,000 against his own. Can he finish it right here, right now?
He's done. He's done.
That is all over. History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight champion.
Can you see me right? See me clear up here?
Khabib came out all guns blazing. Were you surprised by the way Khabib went for the Irish fans a little bit?
It was a good performance. I mean, yeah, what he was talking as well was, I mean, look, he's fought once in 8 years. I need to be solid proof that people are going to show up, and he's a consistent pull-out merchant. He had a good performance tonight. Fair play to him. We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
What happened between you and Artem Lobov, Khabib? Nothing.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back.
Just tell me where, and that's it.
The fight is done. October, Las Vegas. It's on, ladies and gentlemen.
I took the fight and it didn't pay off. This is the fight business. It's another day. I'll come back.
John Jones wants to see a Conor Khabib rematch.
He wants to see Conor Khabib?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people want to see that fight.
It was a dominant performance. It was a dominant fight. There was only one winner. There was always going to be one winner to that fight.
Jumping in the ring, out of the ring, I don't support any of that. I like the trash talk. You got to control yourself.
He landed the bigger shot. There was one big giant shot that was landed in that fight. It was by him.
So if you want to run that back and do it again, my analysis may still be to put your money on Khabib, but it may not. It may not. You give Conor a little bit of time. He can perfect things. He's a rare athlete. He can perfect them in lightning speed compared to other people.
Conor McGregor has already called me wanting a rematch. We'll see what happens with Khabib and what's next.
He should have killed me when he had the chance, because now I'm back and I'm going to kill you and your whole fucking team.
Let's go with your chicken.
The story of this fight is not just Conor McGregor, it's Ireland. This is a fight about how much pride these people have.
Oh! Just right there! Conor McGregor is the new!
I'm gonna smash your boy.
How's it going, everyone? AZPlow21 back again with another episode in our UFC save in WMMA 5. And today we have for you UFC 256 Khabib versus McGregor 2. Super excited for this card. I know a bunch of you guys have been looking forward to this card as well. I'm super stoked. Let's go ahead and get this going. Whoo boy, it's been a pretty big day for me thus far, Pawnee boy. I see you're already in here. Happy to see you. Big day for me already. I golfed my first round of golf this morning. I had a lot of fun. It was a par 72, and I shot 114. So naturally, not the best out of the gate, but apparently that's not the worst for a first time fighting. So I'm pretty excited about it. Trying to get into golfing, picking up a hobby during all this, COVID crap that's going on. Let's go ahead and get this started. UFC 256, Khabib versus McGregor 2. As we all know, main events, Khabib Nurmagomedov taking on Conor McGregor for the lightweight championship of the world for the second time. Alexander Volkanovski in the co-main event defending his featherweight crown against Max Holloway. Jose Aldo versus Aljamain Sterling in the bantamweight division. You also got Tony Ferguson taking on ruthless Robbie Lawler in the welterweight division. Yoel Romero versus Darren Till in the middleweight division. Darren Till needing a big win over Yoel Romero here tonight. Go ahead and see the prelims there. Some big names including Corey Sandhagen, Dan Hooker, Jeff Neal, Pedro Munoz, Macy Barber. Look at a bunch of big names there for what is going to be a great card. Of course, I'm going to be recording this, live streaming on Twitch right now, and then immediately after this, I'm going to be doing my big booking stream, so strap in, a good 3 hours or so of content being recorded today, and I'm very excited to bring it for you here. All my emails are taken care of. We did have Edson Barbosa get injured, so he's out of his fight with Yair Rodriguez. And I see I Got a message from somebody. What's that about? Someone's having problems reaching the screen. Is everything looking good for everybody? You've been doing a lot of commentary the last couple days. That's good, Pawnee Boy. I'm happy to see that. Azatik, how's it going? Were you able to figure it out? Is everything looking okay, sounding okay? Oh, Azatik just messaged me about a booking question. Having a bit of a problem with my main event should be when I'm booking ESPN Fight Nights, ESPN Plus. So for the ESPN Plus fight cards, it tends to not necessarily need to be a big main event. Like Jessica I main evented last night, and she lost too. But honestly, it's up to you, and you don't even have to do ESPN Plus fight cards. I just did that for realism's sake. You know what I mean? But you don't have to do that if you don't necessarily want to. Owen, how's it going, buddy? Happy that I got some people in here excited for UFC 256. Let's go ahead and go over the main card once again. Leave your predictions in the chat. Yoel Romero versus Darren Till in the middleweight division. Who do you guys have? Tony Ferguson versus Robbie Lawler in the welterweight division. Who do you guys got? Jose Aldo versus Aljamain Sterling in the bantamweight division. Who do you guys got? For the featherweight championship, Alexander Volkanovski taking on Max Holloway. Who do you guys have? And of course, the main event, Khabib versus CONOR. For the lightweight championship, who do you guys have? TJ Hockey, how's it going? Let's go ahead and get things started. And I see Kisriev. No, not right now. 9-2 and he's coming off a loss. We'll hold off on him. Let's see, anybody else that's interesting? Not really. Yeah, Azatik, it definitely, it makes you feel a little bit better doing the realism thing, you know, booking it how it normally, would be treated. That's how at least I treat it, So, and I have a lot of fun doing it this way as well. Owen says Romero, Ferguson, Sterling, Holloway, Khabib. I don't know on board says Till, Tony, Aldo, Max, Khabib. Pawnee Boy says Till, Ferguson, Sterling, Volk, and Khabib. Interesting. Only person who picked Volkanovski. Let's see. All my pay-per-view providers are set. I know I'm going to make a loss on this card, but that's not the point. The point is Khabib versus McGregor 2. A little bit delayed on mobile. I think you can just advance up using the scroll bar. Either way, let's get it going. Pay-per-view time. Or prelim time, I should say. Khabib versus McGregor 2, our first prelim of the afternoon in the flyweight division. Zhalgas Zhumagulov taking on Brandon, the Assassin Baby Moreno. Earlier today, actually, Brandon Moreno had an interview that got put out to the press where he was talking about, the fighter pay issues. And he was basically saying that unionizing would be a good thing. I hope he doesn't catch any flack from that, from, the brass of the UFC, but I can definitely see him getting a little bit in trouble for that, considering he's not like a big name, Nonetheless, he is favored to win this fight in the flyweight division. I think Moreno is going to take it, and he actually loses. He loses via unanimous decision to Zhalgas Zhumagulov, who now improves to 15-3, and he has a couple of really good wins to his name. Ali Bagautinov, that was in another promotion, and then Kai Kara France, and now a big win over Brandon Moreno. And Moreno was number 11. He was coming off a loss to Pantoja. So now 2 straight losses for Moreno, and Zhumagulov having a pretty good time. He says, "This is why I love MMA. We all love MMA." A guy who actually fought and lost last night, Kevin Aguilar, taking on Josh Emmett in the featherweight division. I think he's taking on Josh because of a late addition. Emmett, number 13 in the featherweight division, coming off a loss to Ricardo Ramos. Meanwhile, Aguilar is number 21 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Darren Elkins. Saw your first fight night yesterday. UFC ain't too big in Sweden. Well, are you excited about Gustafsson coming back? He's going to be fighting in the heavyweight division. That's going to be interesting because I've already seen pictures of him and he looks a little beefier. You know, little chubby, you know, not as chubby as me, of course, but you know, Gustafsson's getting there and he's going to be facing Verdum, which I think is a good fight for him. I think he's capable of winning that fight. And I'm happy you were able to see the fight night yesterday. Calvillo just put in a performance against Jessica Ai. I was rooting for her the whole time. I'm not a fan of fighters missing weight, so I was definitely not rooting for Jessica Ai last night. Anyways, Pawnee Boy picks Aguilar. I don't know on board, says Josh. They both say it's going to go to decision. Kevin Aguilar is a huge favorite. Let's see what happens. And Kevin Aguilar beats Josh Emmett via knockout. A little less than 2 minutes into round number 1. So coming off that loss to Elkins, but gets a big win over number 13. That should give Aguilar a little bit of momentum. All right. A young man who unfortunately lost pretty decisively last weekend. Chase, the Teenage Dream Hooper, taking on TJ Downtown Brown. Remember, we're trying to build up Chase Hooper. You know, get him as popular as possible before we throw him to the woods. Taking on TJ Brown, who's 0-1 in the UFC thus far. Chase Hooper has already fought once in the save, has a win over Billy Quarantillo. I was actually there live for his win over Daniel Tamer. That was pretty exciting. Chase Hooper, highly favored. Azatik wants to see Latifi fight again. Sam Ruth from Albania. That's interesting. That's cool. TJ Hockey says Sherman. I think you're thinking of Chase Sherman, the heavyweight. Should not have lost the last. Yeah, it was a tough go against Anthony Smith. And Anthony Smith is not the best fighter either. Everyone has their bad days, though. Let's see. I'm going to pick Hooper in this one. I hope he wins. And he does. And look at that. Knockout in round number 1 in a great fight. That's going to bump his popularity up a little bit more. Chase, the Teenage Dream Hooper, wins via knockout. Only 21 years of age. Still undefeated technically. And it says the interview was not that great, but he is handsome enough at 21 years of age that he doesn't need to be a particularly great talker. Round 1, he needs a tougher fight. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does need a tougher fight. Maybe a little bit more of a test next time out. Roxanne, the Happy Warrior, Modafferi taking on Mara Romero Barella. Barella fought a few weeks ago and lost to Courtney Casey via submission in real life. And then Roxanne, of course, in real life is coming off the win over Macy Barber. Modafferi is the underdog here. I believe she's coming off a loss over Caitlin Chukagian. Roxanne Barella. And then Barella's coming off a win over Antonina Shevchenko. And then in this save, Antonina Shevchenko has already retired. And she didn't want to come back either. So she lost to Barella and then said, I'm done. So it is what it is. But Barella, you know, sending the Shevchenko sister into retirement. Yes, you can, Mark. You can definitely track how popular people are. So like just right now, Roxanne, it says right here, best name value, mid-level regional. If you click right here on where it's, where is it? Name value. Boom. Mid-level regional in the United States. That is their highest name value. So you really want these guys to be at least low-level national, because then you can put them on main cards or you can put them on pay-per-views. But also you have to keep in mind this right here. That little skull and crossbones, sometimes it's a skull and crossbones and sometimes it's a flame. And if it's a flame, it means they have positive momentum. And obviously if it's a negative skull and crossbones, it means they have negative momentum. So you kind of want to stay away from the negative momentums, you know, fighters in terms of putting them on main cards. But a highly ranked matchup. Barella is heavily favored. I still think Roxanne might take it via unanimous decision. Let's go ahead and see. And yes. Oh, by knockout. Okay. All right, Roxanne. She's got some heavy hands there. Roxanne Happy Warrior Modafferi via knockout in round number 3. Oh! And Roxanne Modafferi is retired. Hopefully we can talk her out of that. 38 years of age. It's kind of old. For a woman fighter, she might not want to come back from that. And FJM James, thank you for the follow, my man. Hope that you're enjoying. Welcome to the stream. Don't be shy, leave a chat down below. But Modafferi retiring immediately after winning. Hopefully she's able to come back. And then Azatik building up young fighters. Just give them easy fights at first. You know that they're gonna win, and then just make sure that you're booking them against popular fighters as they get even more popular. Just so if they win, they get even more gains as far as popularity. Irene Aldana taking on Raquel Pennington in the women's bantamweight division. Raquel Pennington, the favorite at 10-9. Aldana 13-6. Aldana's coming off a loss to Aspen Ladd, but then a win over Julia Avila. Yes, Aldana is taking on Holm in real life. That's going to be an interesting fight. And I hope she wins, too. Because if Holm wins that fight, she's probably going to get another title shot. And how many times have we seen Holly Holm get a title shot off of, like, one win, Julia Avila won last night in real life. I can't remember who she fought. But she won last night. And then Raquel Pennington in game, coming off 2 straight losses to Holly Holm and Caitlin Vieira. It says Rocky Pennington is the favorite. I'm going to take Aldana in this one. Let's see what happens. And yes, Irene Aldana gets the win over Raquel Pennington via TKO in round number 1. Owen thought Pennington was going to get the knockout. Kind of went the other way there. Let's see what Aldana has to say. She thanks everyone at Lobo Gym. Mexican gym going insane right now. Yair Rodriguez just got announced for a fight against Zabit, I believe. And, who is it? Brian Ortega just got announced versus Korean Zombie. Just insane. I can't wait for all the fights on Fight Island. I know everyone's kind of upset that it's not like a remote island, like in the Caribbean or something like that. But it's an island. I'm sure it'll be a cool aesthetic either way, All right, my future wife, Macy Barber, taking on Manjeet Kolakar in the flyweight division. I don't know on board says Macy by decision. I think she'll win via TKO. Huge favorite. They're both 9-1, so that's kind of why I booked it. A 3-inch advantage for Macy Barber as far as height. Everyone's saying Barber decision. Pawnee Boy says TKO round 1. I like that. What's Kolakar been up to? This is her first fight in the UFC, and a pretty tough task. Barber's coming off a win over Rinna Kai. I'm just trying to get her popular, so that way we can have her on main cards. Ladd beat Nunes in my save. Interesting. Ladd definitely can do it, and I'm sure her potential is really good in this game. All right. Come on, Macy. Let's go. Macy, the future Barber, via knockout in round number 3. So Kolakar able to go 2 rounds. No, Macy Barber's only 22. She's my age. That's why her whole deal this year was she wanted to be the youngest champion in UFC history, which it's probably not going to happen now. But she was on that path. If she was able to get a win over Modafferi, the UFC might have just given her a title shot. Yes, I don't know on board. I do have a chance. Very slim, but a chance. FJM is Brock in this save. He's in the save, but he's retired and he doesn't want to come out of retirement. I can try, but he won't come out of retirement because he's already 44 or 45, I think. Or around that age. And usually when you get to be that old in this game, they just don't come out of retirement. I'm sure there's a way that I can go into the editor and just give him a one-off fight against somebody, That'd be pretty interesting, but I don't know if I would necessarily even want to do that. Just because that's, kind of breaks the immersion. Macy Barber invites everyone to the post-show party to celebrate her with her. I'm there. Macy, I'm down. I'm down to party. All right. Getting to some of the good prelims now. Pedro Munoz in the bantamweight division, taking on Montel Quick Jackson. Now, I can't remember who this originally was supposed to be, but I know that Montel Jackson was not originally to fight against Pedro Munoz. But Jackson took this fight on short notice, and he's actually favored in this fight. And Pedro Munoz, what has he been up to? He's coming off a loss to Piotr Jan. Gus Oliver, thank you for the follow, my man. Hope that you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for joining. Montel Quick Jackson taking this fight on short notice, coming off a win over Rayoni Barcelos. I don't know. I'm going to take Munoz on this one. I don't know why Jackson is so heavily favored in this, unless his stats have just gone up super quickly. Khabib is shite in your save. That sucks. I can't understand why, unless the person who made the mod just wasn't a fan of him and just gave him... He probably gave him crappy like stand-up stats, and that's probably why, you know. But his wrestling's god tier, you know. And he's already defended his title once against Tony. So I'd imagine he's going to be able to hold his own, you know, against a striker like Conor. Especially a striker like Conor who isn't as good of a grappler as Tony, you know. Pedro Munoz versus Montel Jackson. And Montel Jackson gets a unanimous decision win over Pedro Munoz. Wow. So Pedro was number 15. Jackson is number 24. So I'd imagine Jackson's going to be top 20 now in the bantamweight division, taking a fight on short notice against a pretty tough test in Pedro Munoz. All right, Jeff Neal taking on Tim Dirty Bird Means. This is also a fight that had to be taken on short notice. I can't remember who the original fight was, but Tim Means was not that fighter. He's taking this fight on short notice, and he's actually favored a little bit over Jeff Neal. Tim Means is coming off a win over Jake Matthews on the Jones versus Blachowicz fight card. When Pedro beat Cody. Yeah, I was there for that fight card. For the Cody versus Pedro fight. Cody landed a good shot on Pedro, and he just got too excited. You know, he got too excited. He rushed in. He just started spamming right hooks. And, you know, Pedro caught onto it, and he just timed one. And boom, just dropped Cody. Boom, 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 boom. TKO victory. And it sucks because I like Cody Garbrandt, which is why it was so nice to see him get that knockout over a Sun Sao. Like, you want to root for Cody Garbrandt. He's a funny guy, you know, but he's a swanger and banger, so guys are typically going to like him, you know. Big knockout the other day from Cody Garbrandt. Just literally ducked under and just used his whole body's momentum. Just boom. One punch knockout at the bell. It was incredible. Jeff Neal in this game coming off a loss to Gilbert Burns, so needs to get back on the win column and can do it against a solid veteran here in Tim Means, but is the underdog here at 13-3. I'm still going to pick Neal. I'm going to say via TKO. And he actually loses. Tim Means defeats Jeff Neal via TKO. Now, I don't think that would happen in real life. I saw Jeff Neal fight Mike Perry in real life. I think that was at the 245 card in Vegas. I think Jeff Neal is going to be a problem in the welterweight division for the years to come. But here, on a losing streak. And Tim Means shows some respect to his opponent. All right, getting to the last prelims now. Dan the Hangman Hooker, who is scheduled to fight Dustin Poirier in real life, and who fought Dustin Poirier in this game save, is taking on Alexander Hernandez. Of course, in this game, Dan Hooker is coming off the loss to Dustin Poirier. Main event of Poirier versus Hooker. And then Alexander Hernandez coming off the loss to Al Iaquinta. Hernandez is favored. 11-3. Dan Hooker, 20-9 his record. I mean, in real life, Dan Hooker's probably taking this one easily, but for whatever reason, probably because Hernandez has like a high potential rating, so his stats have probably been going up, you know? Alexander Hernandez is the favorite here. Hooker would win this one easily in real life. Let's see what happens. Okay. Dan the Hangman Hooker beats Alexander Hernandez via unanimous decision, which is good because that's a pretty, accurate, call there. Showing respect, Dan Hooker praises Hernandez for his skill and toughness. All right, our final prelim before UFC 256. This is the featured prelim on ESPN. Everyone, get your popcorn. Everyone, get your debit cards out. Get ready to buy the pay-per-view for $64. Jesus. Corey Sandhagen versus Rafael Assunção in the bantamweight division. Sandhagen in game is coming off the loss to Marlon Moraes. That was, I think, the first fight card that I did, or one of the first fight cards that I did. Moraes versus Sandhagen. And then Rafael Assunção is coming off the loss to Jimmy Rivera. These guys, of course, have already met before, and it was a unanimous decision victory for Sandhagen. Do I do illegal streams? I do not. My illegal streams? No, sir. I bust out my wallet and I pay for that as much as I don't want to. And then the rest of the fight cards are just on ESPN, so those are free to watch. Corey Sandhagen versus Rafael Assunção. Owen says Assunção TKO. FJM James says Corey via TKO. It was wild seeing Corey get submitted like a minute into his fight against Aljamain. I mean, I was rooting for Aljamain Sterling. I was just expecting the fight to go a little longer, I definitely did not expect it to end within like a minute and a half. I was happy because Aljo won, but it was just like, oh man, it kind of felt like you were getting cheated out of a good fight almost, I'm going to take Sandhagen in this one. But I mean, Assunção maybe gets that jiu-jitsu. Maybe he gets a submission victory. I don't know. Assunção TKO, says Owen. Let's see what happens. Corey Sandhagen has defeated Rafael Assunção via unanimous decision in 3 rounds. A big win for him, coming off the loss. So now, everyone get your popcorn out. Everyone bust out the wallets. It's pay-per-view time. Face the Pain plays, big intro. John Anik, Daniel Cormier, Joe Rogan, stand-up interviews, everything like that. Let's go. First fight of the main card. Yoel Romero taking on Darren the Gorilla Till. Yoel via submission, says James. Yoel Romero coming off a win over Nick Diaz on the Miocic versus Cormier fight card. Darren Till coming off a win over Jacare Sosa on the McGregor Gaethje card. And I mean, look at this. Since moving up to middleweight, Kelvin Gastelum, Jacare, and now Yoel Romero. If Darren Till gets the win over Romero, that is a very strong case for a title shot. 3 fights in a new division, beat 3 studs. I think that's deserving of a title shot. But let's see how it goes. 41 years of age, Yoel Romero. And Darren, the Gorilla Till, beats Yoel Romero via split decision. Wow. The fight was rated as being decent, so it looks like Yoel kind of just danced around like he did against Adesanya. But Darren Till, probably the number 1 contender now in the middleweight division. And what a fight that would be. Adesanya or Whitaker. Remember, they're already scheduled to fight. Adesanya or Whitaker versus Till. That would be a banger of a fight, in my opinion. Now, would we take that to England, or would we keep it in like the Australia, New Zealand area? That would be interesting. Oh no. Everyone leave some F's down in the chat for Yoel Romero. The Cuban sensation has decided to retire from the sport of MMA. All the best to Yoel Romero and whatever it is he chooses to do next. Goodbye. Darren Till shows some respect to his opponent and gives a good account of himself here. You love to see it. A banger of a main card, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. Tony Ferguson taking on Ruthless Robbie Lawler in the welterweight division. Tony Ferguson, of course, coming off the loss to Khabib in our first pay-per-view, UFC 249. Robbie Lawler coming off a win over Neil Magny, main event of an ESPN Plus fight card. Everyone's saying Tony. Tony is the favorite, fighting, of course, out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to Eddie Bravo. Everyone's picking Tony. I think so too, honestly. High quality H2O. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, and 1. Hoo boy! Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 18 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson. Love to see it. Tony back in the win column. James said he said knockout, and it was via TKO, so technically you were wrong, but still same result. Into the bantamweight division now. Legend of the sport, Jose Aldo, taking on Aljamain Sterling. And as mentioned a little bit ago, Aljamain Sterling is the #1 contender for the bantamweight championship. Should be fighting for the title, in my opinion. I love Jose Aldo. I just don't think he should be fighting for the title. I think it should be Jan versus Sterling. It should have been Jan versus Sterling from the beginning. But I understand why they're going with Aldo. Aljamain Sterling in game is coming off a loss to Henry Cejudo for the bantamweight championship. And Jose Aldo, is this his first fight? He's coming off a win over Jeremy Stevens. Back up in the featherweight division. He won that via TKO. Wow, it's so hard to believe that Jose Aldo is only 34 years old. It's incredible. You think he's so old because he's been around for so long, you know? But he's not. 34. Aldo is the favorite at -200. And you know what? I think he does win here. Let's see. Your results in 3, 2, and 1. Wow. Your winner via split decision, Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling. I don't know why I'm bored, says rigged. Oh, it's the Marlon Moraes fight all over again, huh? Is Aldo going to get a title shot off of this fight too? I mean, that's good though. And I'll tell you why it's good. Jose Aldo, mid-level international, he's perfectly fine. Aljamain Sterling was only a high-level regional. So he gains a lot more from this than Jose Aldo would have if he would have won. Dana hates Aldo. He does not hate Aldo. He's giving him a title shot off of a win. Or off of a loss. Praises Aldo for a tough fight. Congratulations to Aljo. Alright. Our co-main events of the evening for the UFC Featherweight Championship of the World. Alexander the Great Volkanovski taking on Max Holloway once again. I was there for the first fight. I kind of had a feeling something was in the air. Volkanovski coming out on top. And Max Holloway now getting his rematch. This was originally supposed to be on the, was it the Khabib Gaethje card? Let me see. Yeah. That might have been the Stipe DC card. But it was one of our first, pay-per-views that it was supposed to be on. Where's your Discord? I don't know really how to, manage Discord. It would be really cool, obviously, if we could get more people, on here to do a voice chat of some sort. That would definitely be really cool. I'll look more into that. Maybe for the next pay-per-view we can do something like that. But your co-main event up next, Holloway versus Volkanovski. Holloway via decisions wins all 5 rounds. Okay. Let's get it going. Your co-main events. Herb Dean, your referee. Round 1 has begun. Punch from Holloway fails to land. Takedown attempt from Volkanovski, and he gets it. Clock running down. 3 minutes left to go in the first round. Still in guard. Pulled in tight by Holloway. Back up to the feet. Clinching now, Volkanovski. Less than a minute left to go in the first round. Looks at Volkanovski. Holloway tries to ensnare an arm. Volkanovski defends it. And that's the end of round 1. Volkanovski going for another takedown, and he gets it. Going with short strikes here. 3.5 minutes left to go in round number 2. Volkanovski's probably ahead on the scorecards here. Trying to get past guard. Holloway tries to get back up. Shoving him up against the cage. Dirty boxing now. Another takedown attempt. And he can't get it as round 2 winds down. It's probably 2 rounds to nothing here for Volkanovski. Just misses with a right hand. Catches Volkanovski with a right hook. Another one for Holloway. Volkanovski's cut now. So Holloway turning it on here in round number 3. Lands a nice right hand. Holloway putting it back on now. 1-2 from Holloway, can't land. And now Volkanovski, another takedown attempt, and he gets it. His 3rd takedown of the fight. Under a minute left to go in round number 3. I think Max is taking this round just barely. Round 3 comes to a close. Remember, Volkanovski is cut. Holloway needs to win these last 2 rounds if he wants to get back. Uh-oh. Hammering down punches. Big strike. Referee Herb Dean pulls Volkanovski away because he has lost his UFC featherweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 54 seconds of the 4th round, declaring the winner by TKO and new undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, blessed Max Holloway. Wow. Max Holloway, once again, the featherweight champion of the world. Now, what do you guys think? Does this warrant... Oh, I don't think so. I really don't think this warrants a trilogy fight. Because the first win was the decision win. This was a straight-up TKO. If we have, another contender that's... We do. I think it's Brian Ortega, actually. Juliana, thank you once again, or thank you, I should say, for the follow. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in the chat. I appreciate everyone in the stream. Thank you. She says trilogy. Got Ortega and Zabit. Oh, that's right. It's actually Zabit who is the number 1 contender. Or let me check. It is Zabit. I feel like a fresh fight would make it a little bit more interesting. Volkanovski can fight Ortega, maybe. Zabit versus Max, yeah. All right. Once again, the featherweight champion of the world, Max Holloway. He celebrates his UFC featherweight title win, calls it one of the greatest moments in his career. Congratulations once again to Max Holloway. And now, the main event of the evening, what everyone came here to see, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov taking on, once again, the notorious Conor McGregor. Whoo boy. Owen says Khabib by sub again. Khabib, of course, look at that. Coming off the win over Tony Ferguson via unanimous decision. He won basically every round. They gave one round to Tony on 2 scorecards. Conor McGregor, of course, main evented UFC 252 against Justin Gaethje and won in the first round via knockout. I don't know, man. I don't know. Big Mac for the win. I don't know. This would be for 30-0 for Khabib. This is wild. Our main event for the lightweight championship of the world. I don't know on board says Khabib by brutal mauling. That's always a possibility for a Khabib fight. Let's go. Herb Dean, once again the referee. Here we go. No touch of gloves. We kind of expected that. Nice jab, left kick to the side of the head. Uh-oh. Weak tentative jab. Uh-oh. Hits McGregor with a body kick. McGregor more aggressive. McGregor but lands a vicious cross. A knockout! Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 29 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor. Wow. Khabib gets knocked out. Wow. He's no longer undefeated. That was for 30-0. And Conor took it from him. Yeah. Owen, I see that. Trilogy. Do we have anyone lined up at lightweight? Not really. I mean, it's the winner of the Yaquinta versus Gillespie fight. But I think we should do a trilogy. Oh boy, that's all dependent on how long Khabib's out for, and either of these guys can just take a hiatus too. Yeah, the Yaquinta Gillespie, fight, whoever wins that can definitely get the shot afterwards. But I think the trilogy is the way to go, barring any bullcrap going on. But wow, Conor McGregor, once again, your lightweight champion of the world, holding the UFC lightweight title aloft. He celebrates being the new champion and warns that he is intending to have a very long reign. Wow. Nate versus Conor McGregor. I think Nate's coming off a loss, I want to say. We'll check it out right now. Attendance of 15,000 in Nevada. A gate of 4 million. Critical rating of 70. Commercial rating of 96. We only made 1,600,000 on pay-per-view. We're going to take a big fat loss on this card. It is what it is. I wanted to put on a banger of a card. Popularity increases all around. Love to see that. Now let's see. What are we awarding for the awards here? Okay, so this one got fantastic. So instantly, Zumagulov and Moreno gets fight of the night. Congratulations to them. And now any first round finishes. Tony Ferguson. Performance bonus. Aguilar via knockout. We're going to give it to Aguilar and Aldana because Tony doesn't need the extra money. All right. There we go. Let's see how much money we lost. Oh, boy, that's a lot of money. What are you going to do with Sugar Sean and Ponzinibbio? We can check that out right now during the booking stream. Look at that. $12 million Conor got for that fight. Based off of his pay alone, had he only gotten like $1 million, we would have made a profit on that show. But no. Minus $9 million. It's worth it to get more popular, though. It'll help in the long run. It really will. What a pay-per-view. 2 new champions. Just like the last pay-per-view, I think. Going broke. We're not going broke. We're making like $2 million profit on every show and then making a little loss on the pay-per-view. Hopefully we have to renegotiate with Conor because then he'll get a significantly lower payday. But we're not going broke. We'll go ahead and update our rankings, take a look at emails, see who we need to re-sign, and then we'll sign off until I start the booking stream, which will be immediately after. So stay tuned because we are going to be doing some booking, which I know is the most important and most exciting part of this save and of this game. And I think... Is Francis ready to be booked? I think he might be. But how about that? 2 new champions. Great card. A lot of money lost, but it's all worth it, I guess. Did any of you guys watch the fight card last night? Calvillo versus I. Did any of you guys watch? Yeah, Julian, I thought last night was pretty cool for what was expected to be a pretty crappy card, you know. It ended up being pretty good. I liked some of the fights that I saw. The main event, you know, I thought Calvillo could have stopped her, you know. She probably could have gotten a submission victory. And yeah, I do like Marvin as well. I saw Marvin fight Adesanya here in Arizona. That fight was here in Arizona. And it was pretty close. It was a close win for Adesanya. I didn't think it should have been a split decision, but Marvin definitely held his own against who is now the middleweight champion of the world. And he's gunning for him. In the post-fight press conference, he said he wants Adesanya. Obviously, he doesn't get him now, but he wants to get there. So I'd imagine that he's probably going to be fighting someone in the top 15 next, Vettori. And that's if he doesn't have a number, you know, by his name come, you know, tomorrow. Calvillo, #1 contender. I think if she fights Chookagian and wins, I definitely think she would be. Chookagian's coming off the win over Antonina Shevchenko. And I definitely think that a win over Calvillo would probably get Chookagian another title fight. As weird as that sounds, considering she just lost. But yeah, I think Calvillo should fight Chookagian next, and Chookagian wants that fight. So I'm all for it. You had Merab Dvalishvili on the prelims. Very impressive. I thought he did a very good job. Overall, it was just a really, you know, solid fight card. Obviously didn't look as good on paper as, you know, we really would have wanted to, but you know, that's most fight cards anyways, you know. Charles Rosa getting a win after taking the loss to Bryce Mitchell a few weeks ago. Good for him. Andre Fili, I'm a big fan of him. Nice to see him getting a win. You had Maria Agapova with a big, you know, knockout win over Hannah Cyphers. She's definitely one to look out for. Do you think Moraes should be fighting Jan instead of Aldo? You know what? Yes. Yes. I actually do think so. It should have been Moraes versus Jan. I know I said Aljo versus Jan earlier, but it probably should have been Moraes versus Jan. Because Moraes has also fought Sterling before, and he knocked him out. So probably Moraes versus Jan. But I mean, I'm happy to see Aldo, getting a win. Are you going to move John up to heavyweight? Maybe if he gets a win in his next defense, we'll consider it. But I typically like to see people, stay in their division and, defend their championships. But, I mean, you never know. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on here. First of all, let's update our rankings. Let's see what we got going on. Nothing at all in the heavyweight division, and as I mentioned, Ngannou is ready to be booked, and his number one contender is Curtis Blades, who he's already fought twice and beaten twice, because he was supposed to fight Triple C. Yeah, that is true, because that's who Cejudo wanted to fight in the first place. So, all right, light heavyweights, no movement at all. Middleweight, Darren Till is the new number one contender right after Robert Whittaker. So Darren Till, where's my, there we go. Yep. I had it put down, Till if he wins. And there it is. Whittaker, and next is Till. And then for McGregor, Khabib trilogy, and then Yaquinta versus Gillespie. That's going to be next. And then Zabit. Hermanson up to number 6. Brunson Tavares moved down. Where did... Oh, wait. That's right. Romero retired. What am I going to do with Costa? Costa is currently scheduled to fight Brad Tavares on the Yaquinta versus Gillespie fight card. Tavares is number 5, coming off the wins over Holland and Gastelum. If Blades wins, does that mean Ngannou can't have rematch? I don't know, really. Because this would have been his first defense. And so that doesn't necessarily warrant a rematch, even though he's already beaten him twice. That would be pretty weird. Especially since Dos Santos will be right there. But Blades has already beaten Dos Santos, and so is Ngannou. Maybe a guy like Anthony Johnson, coming off a win over Verdum. He has wins over Verdum and Velasquez. So I'd imagine one more win for Johnson would probably give him a title shot. But who am I going to do him against? And isn't he out for a while? He's only out for 5 days, so Johnson can be booked soon, actually. New guys in the rankings: Costello Van Steenis and Alesso Di Chirico. At welterweight, Robbie Lawler moves down to number 13. Everyone basically stays where they are. At lightweight, Khabib goes all the way down to number 6. Conor, your new champion. Yaquinta Gillespie there. I mean, do we do the Khabib fight again? Mid-level international. I mean, it would still be a great fight to do. We do this trilogy, right? Tony versus Conor. Off of one win? Nah. The Yaquinta Gillespie fight. Has Tony versus Dustin been done before? Ooh. Tony versus Dustin? Yeah, I like that. How long is Khabib out for? Ooh, 6 months? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to hold off on Khabib. He's out for 6 whole months. Does the game allow the Diaz brothers? Probably not. No, I don't think so. Because in my pride save, none of the Gracies really want to fight each other that much. So it might end up having to be the Yaquinta Gillespie winner. How long's Conor out for? 13 days. Maybe for a quick turnaround, we do the Tony fight. See, I don't know. Gluttony, how's it going? You just missed quite a bit, sir. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait on the trilogy because Khabib's out for 6 months. My only thing is, what else can I do for Conor right now? Because Yaquinta Gillespie isn't until January, and I want to keep Conor busy. So I'm thinking Tony. Coming off the Robbie Lawler fight, and they haven't fought before. I think we do that, right? Tony versus Conor? Hell yeah. I'm down for that. And we can do that in like 2 months too. Or book it in like a month or so. What else went down here? Hooker's up to number 8. Hernandez is down to number 19. Featherweight, we have our new champion in Max Holloway. We have our number 1 contender in Zabit. Ortega moves up. Volkanovski's down to 4. Everyone moves up here. I think someone retired. I think that's why. Josh Emmett moves down to number 20. Kevin Aguilar is up to number 17. Doesn't make sense for Tony to fight after 1 win. I mean, they give title fights out after 1 win, and they give title fights out after losses all the time. And my whole thing is that fight's never been done before, and it would be interesting, and we can do it soon. Because on the Yaquinta Gillespie fight, we'd have to be waiting on that result. And like Dustin's not gonna fight for the title because he's coming off a loss. Khabib's out for 6 months. Hooker is number 8, and he's not warranting a title right now. Did the Reem retire? No, I think he's still around. No, Overeem is suspended right now. Overeem got caught with PED, so he's suspended right now, actually. But yeah. It's going to be Tony. It's going to be Tony Ferguson. So we'll hold off on the Khabib fight for now. Bantamweight Sterling moves up to number 3. Sanhagen moves up to number 9. Borg is up to 9. Asuncao down to 10. Aldo's down to 13. Munoz down to 20. Montel Jackson only up to 22 after beating Pedro Munoz, interestingly enough. Okay. Flyweight, Zumagulov moves up to number 6. And Moreno moves down to number 12. Women's featherweight, we still got that little mini tournament going on. Women's bantamweight, Aldana is up to the number 1 contender spot after beating Rocky Pennington. I don't think that warrants a title fight because we also have that Renault versus Holm fight, which is for basically a number 1 contendership. But I mean, Aldana, maybe if she were to get another win. What else happened here? Betch Kohea is back in the rankings, and that's about it. Lena Landsberg moves up. I'm not going to cut Pennington. I'm probably going to send her down to Invicta. Because 10-10, that's not a record I want in the UFC. So Pennington is probably going to get sent down to Invicta. Flyweight, Macy Barber stays at 9 because she didn't really beat anyone impressive. Barella moves down to 13. Who did she win or she lose? She lost to Modafferi, but Modafferi retired. And I doubt we're going to be able to get her back. And then nothing at strawweight. All right. Let's go ahead and read our news now. Daniil Villafort High-level regional America. He's out for a couple months. Nah. Ponzinibbio. So Ponzinibbio is coming off a loss to Colby Covington, and he's out for 6 days. So he can be booked in this next booking session. But he has a win over Wonder Boy and then a loss to Covington. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. We're going to go over all that right now, essentially. Right now I'm just looking to see if I want to sign any of these guys. So Ali Beckhoff, I like. Let's go ahead and sign this kid. No. Andre Salcomtath? Pound for pound. I'll check that in a little bit. Nah. Yeah, the rest of these guys I'm not really all that worried about. So we'll go ahead and hold off on that. Josh Emmett needs to be renewed. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Let's check pound for pound first. So this needs to be updated. It'll probably be updated literally tomorrow. But Khabib will not be there, I can tell you. For whatever reason, Husier da Silva, they really like. So I wouldn't put too much credence on these pound for pound rankings. Josh Emmett, go ahead and get him re-signed. These guys are making peanuts now compared to like the 10,000 that they were making before. Alright, TJ Brown leaves, that's fine, he lost. Alright, Zumagulov needs to be re-signed. I'm liking him. Coming off a couple really big wins in the flyweight division. Need to get his name value up a little bit though. Get Zumagulov back in there. There we go. Amen. So Conor McGregor needs to have his contract redone, which is great. Because now we're going to be paying him significantly less. Is Ronda in the save? Yeah, she is. I can try to bring her out of retirement too. All right. So hopefully he'll just take this. And he doesn't like that. He wants a little bit more. Rory McDonald, we already have. We already have Rory McDonald back. Oh, jeez. Oh, let's see here. All right. We're probably going to have her fight Holly. Maybe. So we're probably going to have to negotiate with him some more because there are going to be some other promotions that go after him pretty hard. Montel Jackson. Let's get him signed up. Macy Barber, let's go ahead and sign her long term. All right. TJ Laramie. Okay. We're the only one he's considering. Darren Till needs to be re-signed. Ooh, my brother just said he's about to make burgers. Anybody want a burger? He got Brock out of retirement just to fight DC. DC retired. What are you doing with Crybaby Rockhold? Rockhold has a fight scheduled, I think, against Corey Anderson. He's in the light heavyweight division right now. I don't know. He wants a burger. You want some cheese on that? Onions? What do you guys like on your burgers? Forget MMA. We're talking about burgers now. Tony needs to be re-signed. DC won that fight. You love to see it. Did Anderson retire? So if you look at my YouTube series, there is a video, literally the last video that I posted actually, is Anderson Silva's retirement fight. So you can go ahead and check that out if you want to. But yes, he did retire. After losing to Hermanson. Aljamain Sterling needs to be renewed. I feel kind of bad giving these guys such shitty deals, you know, because I know how much like little money they make in real life, but as far as like in game, I don't feel bad. So Yoel, do you think we'll be able to get him back? No. Ah, nuts. Oh well. Once again, F's in the chat for Yoel Romero. Have a good life, sir. Yeah, run your own fight team. Roxanne Modafferi. Now, I hope she comes out of retirement, actually. She's got to win over a top 15 opponent. Ah. Again, F's in the chat for Roxanne. She doesn't want to come back. She wants to go back to being a librarian or whatever it was she was doing before. She won't run her own fight team. Is she good at anything else? No. If Fighter Pay was in this game, you'd be canceled? Yeah. They'd be like, you're trying to pay Aljamain Sterling $3,000 a fight? What? And then I'd probably get fired. Alright, we need to make sure we're paying attention to those. Because guaranteed people are going to try to go after like Robbie, Tony, Connor, all those guys. Alright, but that's going to do it for this portion of what I'm doing right now. That was UFC 256, Khabib versus McGregor 2. If you're watching the stream, stay tuned. It's booking time. But as far as my YouTube audience, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We have 2 new champions. AZPlyo21 is the channel name. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys. I will see you guys next time. The next time I see you will be for either the booking video or we have UFC on ESPN, McDonald versus Burns. That's in British Columbia, Vancouver. And Rory McDonald will be taking on Gilbert Burns in the main events of that one. I will see you guys later. Have a good one.